Oh, hi guys. Hit it. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today we're going to talk about the rash of mass shootings that have been going on in this country and why shootings have been going up. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, please consider donating a cup of coffee because seriously, guys, for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories and more topics to talk about. Yes, I do accept Bitcoin donations. And yes, guys, I am on Patreon if you guys want to sponsor this podcast show. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, please consider subscribing this, liking this, give me a feedback, good, bad, and the ugly. And before we get this show on the road, guys, if you guys love this episode, and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Woo! Okay, guys, we got rid of all the formalities today. And yes, I am in my leggings today. And yes, these leggings come from Curves and Combat Boots. And yes, I do love their leggings. I do love their t-shirt dress. And yes, they have perfect leggings, okay? I mean, seriously, if Curves and Combat Boots wanted me to advertise on my podcast show, have them drop me a line, okay? So seriously, today I want to talk about the rash of shootings that have been going on ever since the illegitimate president and the illegitimate administration has come into office. And I want to compare that in relation to when Donald Trump was in office, okay? So lately, guys, if you hadn't been watching the news, or if you've been under the rock, or you've been on these COVID lockdowns, we've been lately having a rash of shootings going on in this country, okay? And ever since the illegitimate government and the illegitimate president has been in office, we have lately, guys, have seen a rash of shootings going on, okay? And the most recent one is at the Indianapolis FedEx ground facility. And you have to kind of want to ask this question, okay? And I'm in all seriousness here is this. Why is it that mass shootings go up whenever a Democrat is running the country or running the state? Why is it that mass shootings go up when Democrats are in charge, but mass shootings go down when Republicans are in charge? Why is that? I want to know. This is the $64,000 question that I'm asking. And also, by the way, guys, I'm also live casting this podcast show on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram as well, you can see the live cast show too. Okay? But the question I want to ask is this. Why is it that mass shootings go up whenever a Democrat is in charge. Why? I just want to know, okay? Because the recent shootings that we've been seeing in this country, it just seems like it goes up whenever Democrats are in charge. But whenever a Republican is in charge, they go way on the decline. Is it because when Republicans are in charge that they fund more law and order and they fund more ways to put a damper and clamp down on these mass shootings? Is it? But when a Democrat's in charge, they defund police, and then all of a sudden crime goes up, mass shootings go up. I just have these questions that I like to have answered here. Because it seems to me, ever since the illegitimate president has stepped foot in the White House and the illegitimate government has been running this country, mass shootings, police shootings, or any type of crime has gone up dramatically. Okay? We have seen a spike in crime like no tomorrow. And it sparks questions. And I want to know why it has happened, okay? Why? And then one thing I do want to talk about, and I will hint about this in the podcast today, is about that Indianapolis FedEx ground shooting that happened a couple of days ago. I really want to talk about it because you know why? There's some questions I want answered in this podcast. There's some serious questions that I want to talk about. I want to get it settled. I want to get it like cleared. Because for some reason, guys, like this murder-suicide mass shooting that happened a couple days ago at the FedEx ground facility, and just for a disclaimer, guys, folks, I do work at FedEx ground, but I work at another FedEx ground facility in New England. So whatever happened at that Indianapolis FedEx ground facility, it happened in their district, in their facility. I work at FedEx ground in the Northeast district in the New England hubs. Okay? So just a disclaimer there. But I want to know this question. How is it that this guy who got fired from FedEx, who got a gun legally, was able to commit a crime like this, and when his mother called the police and FBI on him, the FBI did nothing. All they did was took his shotgun away. How is it that the FBI and the police dropped the ball on this one? How is it? I just want to know, guys. I just want to know. And that's a serious question I ask here, is because how is it that this guy who killed 8 people, including himself, was able to get a gun, okay? Went through all the proper background checks. But when red flags came up from his mother and the cops, including the FBI, came in to interview him, how come they didn't haul him into court or haul him into a psych facility for a mental health checkup? I just want to know who dropped the ball on this. Who really dropped the damn ball? Because now you got people on both sides of the aisle politicizing this. You got people on the far left who are demanding, oh, we need more gun laws. We need more gun laws to enforce the laws that are already on the books. We need more stricter gun laws. And then on the far right, you have people saying, hey, it happened. Okay? It happened. The problem is, guys, this is not a problem on the left or the right. This is a problem of incompetence at every level of our government. This is a level of incompetence from the local to the state, to the federal. This is where somebody dropped the ball royally. I don't care if you're a leftist, you're on a far right, you're a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or conservative. This is government incompetence at the highest level. This is government not doing their damn job. Okay? If the mother of the shooter said that, oh, he had some psychiatric issues, he had this and this and this, and he said he wanted to do this and this and this, wouldn't it be enough that law enforcement questions him, puts him on their radar, puts him under a microscope? It just seems like no matter what laws Democrats want to come up with to put a Band-Aid on this issue, the one piece of that Band-Aid they ignore is the incompetence in the government. It's the incompetence of our government workers who drop the ball, who basically can't do their damn job properly, and basically, like, if a red flag went up, they would take that more seriously. So my question is to you guys, in what gun law in this country would have prevented this guy who shot up 8 people at a FedEx ground facility from getting a gun? Even though he passed through all the regulations, all the laws, and all the paperwork that both the left and the right like to throw at people. Name me one law that would have stopped it. I'm waiting because you know why, guys? It just seems like this, that we're more reactive instead of proactive. We're more like, oh no, we want stricter gun laws. Oh no, we want to ban 30-round magazines. Oh no, we want to ban 10 rounds. Oh no, we want to ban the AR-15 because it's black and evil. Here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem with this. And this correlates to the podcast as well, guys. No amount of law on the books will ever stop a shooter, will ever stop a criminal, or will ever stop a mass shooter. The problem is that we have incompetent government officials who fail to do their job and fail to enforce the laws that are on the books. Simple enough. We simply have incompetence. We simply have idiots running the country. Okay? And it makes you wonder why the smart ones get kicked out, but the idiots are still in charge and running things. But when you have stuff like this that went on, you have to sit there and ask yourself like this: where are all the smart ones? You just got idiots who dropped the ball and didn't, and then days later you find out this happened. I don't know what else to say about this, but all I just gotta say is like this: to the Democrats out there, to the far left liberals, and to the anti-gun nuts out there, no gun law in the world will ever stop a mass shooter or will ever stop a criminal from committing a gun crime. No amount of law will ever stop it. Because the problem here is that you have incompetent government officials who fail to do their job and who fail to enforce the laws that are already written in the books. It's plain and simple, guys. It really boils down to the fact that the FBI dropped the ball on this one. And the FBI clearly failed to do their job. So you got to ask yourself like this: what gun law would have prevented this? Because it's not about the gun law; it's about incompetent government officials who did not do their damn job and who could have prevented this from happening if they did their job properly and if they enforced the law that was already written on the books. Okay? So I just have to sit here and I just have to ask this question. How is it that you have like people on both sides of the aisle saying that, oh no, we don't need tougher gun laws. They're more restrictive. They basically handcuff the law-abiding citizen but enable the criminals. But then on the left, they say, oh no, we need tougher gun laws. We don't need military-grade weapons. Military-grade weapons don't belong in the hands of civilians. It's not about like adding more gun laws to the already existing gun laws that are already on the books. It's a matter of getting competent people to enforce the laws that are already on the books. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. And the sad fact is that we're seeing a rash of violent shootings going up in this country. We're seeing a rash of violent crimes going up. And then you have Democrats who are in power right now who are trying to strip away every right from law-abiding citizens and enabling criminals. And this is where, guys, we are seeing a rash of crime going up. You're seeing, for example, guys, hate crimes on Asians being committed by black people, and then you have white liberals covering for them. You're seeing that going up exponentially, okay? And if you don't believe me, guys, go look up the FBI Uniform Crime Report. They keep track on all these statistics, okay? And if the FBI Uniform Crime Report says that this is going up because of this and this and this, and that's what they're reporting, hey, I'm not gonna doubt the stats. I'm not gonna doubt the stats. I may question their logic behind the stats, but if that's what they're reporting, we're just gonna put it out there. But like I said, guys, like I said, what we have here in this country is that we have a run-amok government who is basically running this country blind, and you have like 4 shootings that have been going on in this country. It seems to me Democrats don't give a shit about law and order, about enforcing the laws. They're selectively enforcing the laws, okay? They don't give 2 shits. Now, if this happened under Donald Trump, when Donald Trump was president, oh hell, man, the courts would be throwing the hammer. They'd be throwing the biggest damn book you could find at them. Seriously, they would. But since this is happening under a Democrat-controlled, illegitimate government, this is why you're seeing a rash of crimes going up, including a rash of shootings going up. And you're seeing this on the rise because Democrats, far leftists, and liberals, and socialist communist Democrats don't believe in law and order. They believe in anarchy. They believe in all this communist, socialist utopia shit. And the problem is, guys, this is going to have a law of unintended consequences, where by the time we get a Republican running this country or running the state, it's going to be all over. You're going to see rampant crime go up. You're going to see more lists go up, okay? And then you're going to see people sit there and go like this, oh no, we need to crack down on law and order. And then pretty soon you'll see a Republican march right into the White House, Congress, and then next thing you know, they'll be getting tougher on crime so badly that people will wind up being thrown in prison. But like I said, guys, the FBI dropped the ball royally on this mass shooter. They interviewed him, they had him on his radar, but he still committed the crime, and the FBI dropped the ball and said, "There's nothing we could do." Well, yeah, there's something you could do. Turn him over to the state and let the state handle him. Let the state figure out what to do to him. You know? Simple as that. And wasn't like Indianapolis, Indiana have a red flag law? So I'm wondering here, wasn't their so-called red flag law enough to stop him from committing the crime that this person did? I'm wondering because, seems to me somebody in Indianapolis, Indiana was not enforcing the law that was on the books. So you have to ask yourself this question. What gun law in this country would have prevented this mass shooter from getting a gun or committing the crime? What gun law? It ain't about the gun law, folks. It's about incompetent government officials who fail to do their damn job and who fail to enforce the laws that are written on the books. Plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple. A lot of people just want to ignore that and say, oh, no, it's not incompetent officials. It's just that we just need more gun laws. No, it doesn't. We just need to get competent government workers to do their job and enforce the laws that are on the books. It's plain and simple. We just need to kick out the idiots who don't want to do their damn job and need to kick in people who want to do their damn job, who want to enforce the laws that are on the books already. Because the problem is that I see here is that, yes, this mass shooter was interviewed by the FBI last year. Okay? His mother did complain to the Indianapolis PD about his mental health issues and his psychiatric problems. But did they do anything about it? Nope. And this is what we get in this country. Okay? Look at all the mass shootings that happened in this country. I'm going to bet you guys 9 times out of 10, it was because of government incompetence. It was the fact that government failed to do their job and failed to enforce the laws that was clearly written in the books and that was already on the books already. So you can't tell me that, oh, we need gun laws, we need more gun laws, we need to make it tougher for people to own a gun. You can make every gun law you want in the world, but is it ever going to get enforced? Is the question. Is it ever going to be enforced in this country? Is it ever going to be enforced on the books? Is it ever going to be enforced legally? Because the problem we have in this country is not, oh yeah, we need gun laws after a mass shooting or after a police-involved shooting. We just need people to enforce the laws equally. We just need people that can do their job and don't act like a dickhead and don't act like an idiot. That's what we need in this country. We don't need, like, idiots running the country. I mean, look at what we have now. We have, like, Grandpa Earpiece running the country. We have an idiot in the White House who doesn't even know where he is. So if that's the reflection of what we're seeing in our government workers, these next 4 years, man, I hope there's enough Jim Beam for me to drink this through, man, because I'm probably gonna need a lot more than coffee to just basically drown out the whole world being burned to the ground. But like I said, guys, like I said, I just think like this. I just think like this. And what has been going on lately with all these shootings going on, including like the one I talk about in my previous podcast, and now this one at the FedEx ground facility in Indianapolis, I just think like this is that we have a generation of idiots running this whole country and who don't even know how the real world works. We basically have a generation of idiots, and all the smart ones have been kicked out, have been like locked down in their house, have basically like have no way of doing things or going places or basically or even having a semblance of normalcy. So we basically have pretty much a generation of idiots running this country, and to learn from the AP, and the UPI that the FBI interviewed this mass shooter and did nothing just goes to show that no amount of gun laws in this country will ever stop a criminal or a mass shooter. No amount. It's the problem we have is that we have incompetent government officials who fail to do their job, who fail to enforce the laws that are on the books, and who even fail to preempt and stop mass shooters from committing their crimes, or basically enforcing the laws on the books and making it harder for a criminal to own a gun, or making the penalties so severe that they be in prison for a lot longer than the original crime they got sent to prison for. It's pretty much basically that we have a government that drops the ball on everything. And we've become more of a reactive society instead of a proactive society. I mean, what's it going to take for us as a civilization to finally wake up and smell the goddamn fucking coffee and say, we got to stop being reactive. Instead, we got to start being proactive. We got to start pushing this mantra: if you see something, you hear something, say something, like that. That means if you see something, you say something, you hear something that somebody's all saying they're gonna do this and this and this, report it to law enforcement. That's what their job is. That's what they're supposed to be there for. But the problem is, we have law enforcement who is either incompetent or inept or basically too stupid because they didn't do their job properly, and they didn't even enforce the laws that are already on the books. So you got to ask yourself, guys, what gun law would have prevented this mass shooter from committing his crime? What gun law on the books would have prevented it? Because it's not about making gun laws tougher, making gun laws like so strict, so tough. It's about enforcing it. It's about making sure we have competent government law enforcement that can enforce the laws that are already on the books. It's plain and simple. And it's not about It's not about like, oh, we need more gun laws. We need more gun laws. No, it's making sure we have people don't drop the damn ball again and don't allow shit like this from ever happening again. Okay? Because too many times shit like this happens and we're reacting to it instead of like being proactive about it. Plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple. I just think like this. I firmly believe the FBI dropped the ball on this. They dropped it so badly that you just have to question what were they thinking when they were interviewing this guy, knowing that he was probably going to commit a crime like this. And if they knew he was going to commit a crime like this, they could have had him civilly committed a long time ago. They could have. And when they did, they could have prevented it. But they dropped the ball. And this is where we're at right now, guys. They really did, guys. So, like I said, guys, it's not about making gun laws tougher or making gun rights more tougher. It's about enforcing the laws that are on the books. It's about making sure that we have competent, smart people doing their damn job and then enforcing the laws that are legally on the books. Plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple, okay? So, anyway, guys, thanks for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I'll see y'all soon, and y'all can catch me later on tonight when I'm playing Call of Duty and Black Ops Cold War online. So, I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.